In today's video, I'm going to show you how to send out a lead magnet, sometimes called a freebie, to someone who provides their email address to you on your Squarespace website. I'm going to show you how to do this using Squarespace email campaigns automations. You do need a paid subscription to email campaigns to use the automations feature. If you'd like to learn how to provide a lead magnet to someone on your Squarespace website without an email campaign subscription, there is a separate video below that shows you how to do that. But today I'm going to show you how to use automations. If we haven't met, my name is Shannah and I am a Squarespace web designer in New York City. I create websites and website templates for people doing good work in the world. Now let's dive in. Now, the very first thing we need to do is create a mailing list that is specific to this lead magnet. So on your Squarespace website, you want to go down here under contacts and select lists and segments. And up here on the right, you want to create a mailing list and you want to give it the same name as your freebie. So mine is going to be an SEO checklist, and I'm going to click save here. And now we have a new mailing list. The next thing we're going to need to do is add a newsletter block to our website. Now here I have created a separate page where I am going to add a newsletter block for people to sign up for my freebie. You can create a section on any page of your website. You can add a section to your blog, but we're right now going to create this section on a separate page. And I'm going to add a block, add a newsletter block, drag that over here. I'm going to edit my newsletter block. I'm going to call it SEO checklist. I'm going to give it a title, grab the SEO checklist. I'm going to add a subscription here explaining what people are going to get and how it's going to help them. I'm going to take out my disclaimer. I don't usually include disclaimers on my newsletter sign up. I'm going to change my button text to get the checklist. I don't usually collect names with my email list. If you turn this on, you can collect people's first name and or last name, but that's just more things for people to provide. You can personalize your emails if you collect their first name, but you can't turn off just the last name. You can say it's not required and only the first name is required, but I find that a little bit confusing. So by the time you're watching this, maybe they will have improved this feature so you can just show the first name. But because this gets a little confusing, I just collect email addresses and no names. Then I'm going to add a post submit message here. I like to let people know to keep an eye on their inbox, and this is going to display after someone subscribes to my email list. I'm going to back out here. I'm going to leave everything on my design the same. Over here on storage, I need to click here under Squarespace, and I need to attach this newsletter block to the new mailing list that I just created. So I'm going to click here. I have a bunch of mailing lists. I'm going to pick SEO checklist. I like to leave my confirmation email off so people don't have to confirm that they want to sign up. And I like to leave reCAPTCHA on to minimize the spam that comes through this newsletter form. So those are all the settings on my newsletter block. I'm going to click save and exit. And the next thing we have to do is set up our automation that sends the lead magnet out when people fill out this newsletter block. And to do that, we need to click under campaigns and automations. And then we're going to click create automation in the upper right here. And there are a lot of different options here under automations. We're going to click welcome new subscribers, which is triggered when someone signs up for your newsletter list. Then we're going to click next. And you have 4 email templates to pick from, but it doesn't matter which one you pick because you're going to be able to pick another one later. So let's just go with professional, create automation. And here we have the automation that Squarespace is creating for us. It's going to trigger when someone signs up for your site. We're going to adjust that in a minute. With no time delay, it's then going to send out this email. Now let's edit each of these pieces to customize this for your lead magnet. So under trigger, we want to click here on your site. By default, it would go out to anyone who subscribes to any newsletter block on your website. We don't want that. So we want to click select mailing lists, and then we want to click our SEO checklist here. And then we're going to back out of that. And we want to leave this alone. There's no time delay. We want it to go out right away. And then we're going to click here on the email to update the email that goes out. If we wanted to use this template, we would click edit email and we could update this one, or we can use a different email. So I'm going to pick different email. And here we could select any of Squarespace's templates, and we could filter to limit the selection criteria here. We can start with a blank template, or if you've already been using Squarespace email campaigns, you can start with any other email that you've created in the past as your template. So maybe you get a head start on the formatting for your header and your footer, and you can quickly update something you've already used. But I just want to show you how email campaigns works a little bit. So we're going to start with blank, and we're going to customize it from scratch. I'm going to click Use this template. I'm going to first click anywhere outside in this blank area outside of my text here to go to my email styles. I'm going to click Quickly Match Your Site so that I can pick a color theme from my website, which will automatically pull into my email and help me format my colors to look similar to my website. And it's going to insert my logo. So I'm going to click Theme 2. It's pulled in the gray from my website. It's popped in my logo to my header and footer. And then I'm going to back out here. Now, I actually like my email backgrounds to be all white. So here I'm just going to change my email background to the white that's on my site palette. And I like that look a little bit better. Now here, as I move my cursor over the different sections of my email, I can see that I can edit them. So I've just got a header and a footer right now. I'm going to click on this blue plus sign to add some text to my email. So I'm going to click here, add some text. I'm going to add a little bit of welcome text there. And now I'm going to add a button that people would click to get the lead magnet. So I'm going to click here, add a button. I want to change the button label to get the SEO checklist. And now I want to change that button to the green that's on my website. And then here I need to add the link to my lead magnet. So I want to click on web address. I'm going to paste in the link to my lead magnet. And if you don't know how to grab a link to a Google Doc or a Google Sheet so people can copy it as a template, I have a blog post below that will show you how to do that. But for now, I've already done that. So I've got my link there. I'm going to click save. And then I'm going to add a little bit more text here at the bottom. I like to let people know that they're on my list, and I'd love for them to stay on my list, but they can unsubscribe at any time. I just think that's polite. Then I'm going to add a little line here before I get to my footer. So there's a line block. I'm going to make it a little bit wider. And then I've got my footer here. And over here on the right is where I could adjust my footer. I've been using Squarespace campaigns for a while, so some of these defaults are already pulling in. I've already set up my legal address. You do need a legal address when you send any emails out from Squarespace email campaigns. It should technically be a street address or a PO box, but I just use my city and state here. I could add my social links here to the footer. These are just going to pull in from the ones that I've already set up on my website. Here is Squarespace branding. I'd have to get a higher level of plan in order to turn this off. So I have to leave on Powered by Squarespace, no big deal. And now I've got my footer looking the way I would like it. So once you have your email all formatted, you would hop over here to email. I need a subject line for my email. I like to use a little emoji in there to call attention to it. And I just say your checklist has arrived. I don't include an email preview that would display below the subject line as a little preview of what's in the email. I've got my sender details, which are all set up already because I'm using Squarespace email campaigns. If you don't know how to use Squarespace email campaigns in general, I have another video that goes into detail on how to set all of this up. And then you can send a test to yourself just to make sure the email looks good before the automation goes out. So if you click send test, you can put your email address in here and send yourself a test. But we've got this all set up the way we like it. We like the test that came out. And now I'm going to back out. And our automation is all set up. And the last thing we need to do is activate it so that it will be turned on when people fill out our newsletter block. Our automation is now active. So now what we want to do is test out our automation and make sure it's working. So let's hop back to our website. I'm here on the page where I have my newsletter block, and let's enter in an email address. I'm going to enter a test email address that is not yet on my email list. If you just put the plus sign at the end of the beginning of any Gmail address, you can create a little test email address that's not yet on your list, but that goes to your Gmail. So I've created that little test there. I'm going to click get the checklist, and notice there's my post submit message that I created, and it says check your inbox. So then I would go over to my email and make sure it showed up. I can confirm that it showed up in my email. And what you can also see, if we go back to our automations and I click on the one we just set up, welcome new subscribers. And here I can see that one automation was sent, it was delivered, and it was open. So you can track all the statistics on your automations here. And what you can also do, if we go back here, we can rename this so it's not generic as welcome new subscribers. We can rename it here to SEO checklist lead magnet and click save. So that is how you would use Squarespace email campaigns automations to send lead magnets out to your newsletter list. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If so, give it a like and subscribe below, and good luck in all of your Squarespace adventures.